Welcome back to practical session, dear students. As I said, I'm going to teach you LibreOffice through the practical session, how to install and how to use it. Okay. So first to download the software, you have to open a Google, any browser. Okay. So let me open a browser. In the browser, in the search box, you can write LibreOffice. Already it is written. Let me click over here. So when you click on it, you can see the first site libreoffice.org. This is a site we have to go. So click over here, okay, which goes to the next page, and you can see download LibreOffice. Choose your operating system. Mine it's Windows 64-bit system. I have already taught you how to check your system, whether it's a 32-bit or 64-bit by going through control panel. Okay, so click over here, you can see the different operating systems, Windows, Mac and Linux. Okay, so if it's yours is a Windows 64 or 32, just select the appropriate operating system, then click on download button. Your download should begin shortly, so please click the link if it doesn't start. So it is downloading. Let us wait for some time. Well, students, while downloading, just keep it in mind that this software, okay, LibreOffice, it is something like our Microsoft Office package only. Okay, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you the basic window. Okay, how does it looks like, all the components of the window I'm going to teach you, as well as how to type the basic operations like how to copy, how to paste, how to undo any activity, about the mouse pointers and everything. Okay, listen carefully, you should be able to write in your exam. Got it? Well, students, the download is completed. You can see here. Let me open the file. First, let me open the exe file. It's preparing to install. The installation window appears. Just follow the procedure. Okay. So first, it's an installation wizard. Click on next button. It's a typical one. So click me next. Create a shortcut on desktop. Okay. So which will create a shortcut key on the desktop. So let me click on install button, and you will see the small dialog box. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Click on yes button. Okay. Then do not close applications, or reboot will require to complete the setup. So wait for the process to get completed. Okay, the installation wizard is completed. Let me click on finish button. You must restart your system for configuration changes made to LibreOffice to take effect. Click yes to restart now, or no if you plan to restart later. I'm going to restart it later. Okay, so let me click on no button. Okay, so now LibreOffice is installed in our system. Okay, so let me tell you how to open this LibreOffice. Okay, so when we were installing, you might have seen that an icon it's created in the desktop installation wizard. It says create a shortcut icon in the desktop. So let us see where is the shortcut icon. So here you can see LibreOffice 7.0. Double click on it. Okay, when you double click on it, this Office package will open. So this is a LibreOffice package, and left side you can see Writer. It's nothing but, as I said, it's a word processing software, and Calc, it's a spreadsheet program. Impress, it's a PowerPoint presentation. Draw, it's for drawing like painting. Then Math formula, and Base, it's for database management system. So these are the packages involved, included in this LibreOffice. Okay, so we have to click on Writer document. The Writer document will open now. To print the notes of your slides, go to File, Print, Impress tab. Okay, so it's a tip it has given. Okay, so this is the way we have to open. So did you understand how to open? Let me close it. There are different ways you can open LibreOffice. The very first thing is you have a shortcut key on your desktop double click on the shortcut key which will open the LibreOffice window, and then click on the writer document which will open Libre writer document. This is a LibreWriter word processing software. This is the first method of opening the document. Okay. The another method is in the search box you can write LibreOffice. Okay, LibreOffice, and you can see the best matches appears over here. You want a math or a writer or a calc, or you want a LibreOffice and you want to choose it from there, or you want a calc or a draw or a impress. Whatever you need, you can just click on it. Okay, I need a writer, so click on the writer. The writer will open now. Do you see the writer? It's open. So this is a second method of opening the LibreOffice writer. Okay, first method, double click on the icon on the desktop. The second method, it's you just type the LibreOffice in the search box, you can open. Okay, third method, as you know, you have to go to start button. Okay, and here you can see Libre recently added, it is there, and if it is after 2 or 3 days you can't see this one. So where you have to go, programs, all programs, LibreOffice, then LibreOffice writer. Using a start menu also we can open this. And these three methods are for Windows operating system. Okay, and if you are using a Linux, that is Ubuntu operating system, you have a program launcher. Okay, using program launcher you can just select the program and you can open this writer. So this is a writer window we have opened. It's a word processing software. It's a type of application software. Got it? Okay. And see, this is a free software, but Microsoft Word, if you want to install Microsoft Word, you have to go and buy the CD by paying money. Okay, but this one, it comes with a free of cost. So that's what we call it as free and open source software, FOSS. Is it clear? That's good. Okay. So now we open the document, right? So already one document it's here, and do you see at the top of the page, Untitled 1 LibreOffice Writer. Untitled 1. Why it is given Untitled 1? Because whenever you open the document, it will be Untitled 1. If you open another document, Untitled 2. If you open another document, then it will display the name Untitled 3. So by default, the name of the writer document is untitled some number X. Some number will be there, 1, 2, 3, likewise it goes on. Okay. So by default, this is a name. So if you want to change the name, if you want to give a name for your document, what you have to do? You have to go to File tab, then Save button, Control S. Click on Save button. So the Save as dialog box appears. Choose the location where you want to save. I always save it in data drive 1. Okay. Do not save it in C drive, because which contains all the program files. So try to avoid C drive. Okay. Go to D drive or E drive which is in your system, and let me go to my folder. Okay. I always save it in my folder. And here I do have a 9th standard folder. So let me take 9th standard, and this is unit 3, right? So we will save it in unit 3. Okay. And you can see in the file name box, it is written untitled1.odt. So what is this .odt? Which is the file extension for LibreOffice Writer. LibreOffice Writer, the file extension is .odt. Okay. So click on this file name, and just then you can give any name according to your document. According to your document, you can give a suitable name. Always give some suitable name. Do not give the name like your name or sisters, brothers, parents' name. Always give a name of the document related to that particular document. Okay. So I'm just going to write field trip. Field trip. Okay. Field trip, and click on Save button, which will automatically get saved with .odt format. Do you see field trip.odt? So the file name appears here. Got it? Okay. So we saved the document. Okay. First time we saved it. Now I feel that I want to give another name for this document and save it in another location. save it in another location. Already I saved the file with the name field trip. Okay, now I want to save the same file with another name in another location. So how many copies I will be having after saving? I will be getting 2 copies in 2 different locations. In each location, I will be having 1 file. So in order to do that, what you have to do is go to File tab, then Save As option, Control plus Shift plus S. Students, please learn the shortcut keys also. Okay, so Control plus Shift plus S. Click here. So again, it is an Unit 3, right? So now I want to save it in Unit 1 also. I want to save it. Okay, Unit 1, I want to give a different name, only trip, my trip. I want to give the name as my trip. Okay, so let me click on save button. So now it is saved with the name mytrip.odt. Clear. So let me close this file. Okay, let me go ahead and check how many files I have and where do I have. Okay, so I'm going to File Explorer and let me open my folder. Okay, so wherever you save, just go to that particular location and check it. Okay, so I have a class 9 here, and Unit 3 I have a field trip.odt. Okay, and also I have in Unit 1. Let me click on Unit 1. Unit 1, I have mytrip.odt. Mytrip.odt. So 2 files, same files. If you want to open, just double click on it, it will open. Okay, so this is what we have done. So what we have done so far, we just downloaded the LibreOffice package. We opened the writer document in 3 different ways. Okay, and we saved the file. And also we have done save as. That means I have saved the file with another name in another location. Got it? Now how to close the file? How to close the writer? Open. So click on the file. Click on file. Then if you want to exit from the document, you have to click on exit LibreOffice. Or if you want to just to close this particular mytrip.odt, then you can see the close button over here, which is closed. You can see my trip, field trip. 2 documents are here. Okay, so let me open my trip itself. Okay, so here the my trip document, it's open. So what we are going to do now? We studied about how to open a document, right? And how to save the document, how to do a save as option, and how to close the file. Close the file. Okay. Now the next thing is I'm going to teach you the components of this window. Okay, the components of this writer window. This writer window consists of the following parts. If you look at the top of the window, you can see the title bar. Do you see title bar? Yes, right? So what does the title bar represents? Which says the name of the file as well as the name of the application. So name of the file, it's my trip. Name of the application, it's LibreOffice Writer. So that is called title bar. Okay, and at the right side, okay, right corner, you can see close button, restore button, and minimize button. That's a normal thing, you know. The next one, what is here? This one, it's called menu bar. As you know, it is called menu bar. So the menus are file, edit, view, insert, format, styles, table, form, tools, windows, help. So these are the menus. So what does the menus represent? So if you select a particular menu which displays the sub menus. See, when I click on a file, you can see the sub menus over here. When you click on edit, again you can see the sub menus for edit. If you click on view, you can see different set of sub menus. So each menu has a sub menu when you select it. When you keep the cursor over there, you will get the sub menu box. Okay. Say for example, let me take the file. When I keep the cursor on file menu, which shows the sub menus. Okay, sub menus are listed one by one. So some sub menus have a triangular arrow mark and some has a 3 dots. Do you see 3 dots is here, 3 dots is here, 3 dots, 3 dots. Some dots are there. So what does that three dots represent? So whatever the sub menu which has three dots, which means when you click on that particular option, which will open another dialog box, which will open another dialog box. You have to just read the dialog box and accordingly you have to go forward. Okay, so let me click on any one. Okay, so let me click on versions. Okay, so as I said, wherever you have a three dots, if you click that sub menu, a dialog box will appear, right? So do you see a dialog box appears? New versions, save new version, existing versions. I'm not going to make any changes. I simply said a dialog box appears. Okay, here we are not going to do any changes with the versions. Okay, so let me close it. Clear. And what does that triangular mark at the right corner it says? The sub menu has again another sub menu. The sub menu has another sub menu. You can see the triangular mark new, I have clicked on it, which displays the remaining sub menus. Okay, see sub menus are here, and recent documents, so again which has a sub menus. Wherever you have a triangular mark symbol, that means which has a sub menus. Got it? Okay. Now, this is a menu bar. Okay. And next one, it's called toolbar. Okay. So you have a standard toolbar and formatting toolbar. So standard toolbar, you can see what is this: to create a new file. This is to save. This is to open existing document, to save the file. So these are the cut, copy, paste. As you know, if you keep the cursor, you can learn what is that shortcut key represent. Okay, the tool represent. This is a standard toolbar. The next one, it's a formatting toolbar. So do you know what is meant by formatting? Making it attractive. It's called formatting, right? Okay, so to make your document very attractive, you can use a different handwriting style, you can choose a different size, you can use a bold handwriting, italic, underline. Okay, that you can apply colors, background, foreground, then this is alignments, then indentation, everything it's here, line numbers, everything it's here. Using this formatting toolbar, you can just make your document very attractive. Got it? Okay, then fine. Then this is called a work area. This is a writer where we are going to do our documentation. We are going to do our documentations on this white page only. Okay, and there are two toolbars are appearing here. As I said, the first one, it's a standard toolbar. The second one, it's a formatting toolbar. Still, we do have more toolbars. Okay, so in order to get the toolbars, you just go to view menu, and then go to toolbars. Okay, and if you go to toolbars, which has a triangular mark, and you can see the sub menu, it's appearing. So currently we are having a formatting toolbar and standard toolbar. Okay, so if you want to have another toolbar like drawing tools, you can just click there and you can get a drawing tools. Okay, so click here, go to toolbars, and do you see drawing has a check mark? Do you see the drawing toolbar appears here? So using this drawing toolbar, you can make a drawing on your document. Okay, so then next one, you can just click and see. Okay, image toolbar. So this is an image toolbar. You can add as many toolbars as you like. For that, you have to go to view tab, toolbars, and the sub menu appears, and you can just choose any toolbar whatever you need. Okay, by default this formatting and standard will appear on the screen. And do you see the check mark? Check mark means these toolbars are already present on the screen. If you one more time click on it, see drawing toolbar at the bottom, you can see drawing toolbar. Okay, if you again click on it, which will be hidden from the screen, you can see it will be unchecked now. Do you see drawing? It's not checked here. So the check mark means which is already visible on the screen, present on the screen. If you click on one more time, that will be hidden from the screen. Clear? So this is a way you can add more toolbars. And then what is next? So after this writing area, you can see page 1 of 1. 0 words, 0 characters. Default page style, language is English. You can see the zoom buttons over here. So do you know what is the name of this one? exactly, which is called status bar, which displays which page we are in, how many letters, how many words we have written, okay, then which language we are using, and then zoom buttons to maximize and minimize the screen. You can see the zoom buttons, okay, and apart from that you have a scroll bars, okay, so you can move up and down using the scroll bar. Now it is not moving because we haven't written anything, we haven't moved the document, so it is not moving up and down, okay. So this is a scroll bar. Clear? Okay, so this is all about the writer window. This is all about the writer window. Is it clear for everyone? That's good. Let me recollect. The very first bar, it's called title bar, then menu bar, then standard toolbar, formatting toolbar, and this is the writing area or the work area, then status bar. Clear? Okay. So now you can see, let me type one document, okay. So there is an assignment, it's given in the same chapter, that is a trip to a field trip, okay. That's what I have given. The name of the file is field trip, okay. So let me take the document, okay. So let me take that particular uh, report, okay. Field visit to an IT job fair. This is what I'm going to type it here. Well, students, this is the one, it is given in your text, okay. Report you have to do it in your system, okay. If it's a lab activity, if you come to a regular class, we will be doing it in the lab. As we do not have a regular classes, I have written this one for you in my system, okay. So how to here, now what we're going to see is how to move the cursor, text cursor, how to move the text cursor. Do you see one blinking line, which is called text cursor, so the cursor is in the third line, right? So which is in a one blank line. So if you want to move this cursor to the top of the page or middle of the page or a particular line, how do we move it? Using arrow keys, okay. So using arrow keys, you have a 4 arrow keys, left, right, okay, up, down. So I'm using a down arrow key which goes down, up arrow key which goes up, left side which moves left, right key which moves the cursor to the text cursor to the right side, okay. So my cursor, text cursor, it's in between the document, right? So now I want to move the cursor to the beginning of the document. Now just assume that we have 100 pages, okay, or for 10 pages of documents written in our system in this writer, and if you want to go to the beginning of the document, we use home key. We use the key called home key. So in the keyboard you can see the key home key. So when you click on the home key, you are going to the beginning of that particular line, So let me click on Control plus Home. So do you see where does the cursor went to? Which goes to the very beginning of the document. Okay, so if you click on, see again, let me move the cursor somewhere else, okay. So I'm here, somewhere else here. So if you want to move the cursor to the beginning of the line, then click on the home key. If you want to go to the beginning of the page, Control plus Home. Okay. If you want to come to the end of the line, just press the End key. And if you want to come to the end of the document, then Control and End. Control and End. So I taught you 4 shortcut keys now. Okay. So one, it's just Home and just End. If you press only the Home key, wherever is your text cursor, the cursor will move to the beginning of the line. That is the line. On that particular line, beginning it will move. If you press Control plus Home key, then which will jumps to the beginning of the document, the entire document. Similarly, End. So if you click on an End key, which goes to the end of the line. And if you click on Control plus End, which goes to the end of the document. So here, this is the end of the document. You can see the cursor. Clearly observe the cursor, you will be able to understand. I think these are the basic things you already know about it. Am I right? Yes, that's good. Okay. So this is the way the cursor works. Now, let me talk about the mouse pointer. See, look at my mouse pointer. My mouse pointer, it's at the left side. So if my mouse pointer it's not on the working area, how does it looks like? It looks like an arrow mark. Am I right? It looks like an arrow mark. And when you move on the text, okay, on the working area, how does it looks like? It looks like an eye symbol, eye shape. And if you click somewhere, then it becomes a text cursor, a blinking cursor. This is about the all about the mouse pointer, which changes into three. First is arrow mark, then eye shape, then blinking cursor. Wherever you click, it will become a blinking cursor. Okay, that is a text cursor we call it as. Is it clear, students? So this is what explained in your text. Let me open your textbook, soft copy. Okay, okay, you can see here. Here it is given how to open LibreOffice. Okay, then three different ways of opening the LibreOffice is given, and this is if you are using a Ubuntu operating system, you have to go to program launcher. In the program launcher, you can just type the name or select the program. And here how to create a document. To create a document, Control plus N. So you can see, so if you want to create a new document, Control plus N for the new document, text document. Do you see the shortcut Control plus N? Okay, then how to save, Control plus S. Save as also it is given. To save the file with a different location and with a different name, you can just use a save as option. Then how to close, file close. Okay, and if you want to open the existing file, you can use file open and then select the existing document. Okay, and one more option I forgot to say. If you want to save your document with a password protection, what do you have to do? Password protection, you just click on the save button. I'm sorry, it just opened another LibreOffice. Okay, this is actually just to keep the cursor, it's a new one. Okay, so save, this is a save option. This is after saving, I did not click on save button. So if you want to save your file with a password protection, okay, to safeguard it from other users, go to file tab, the normal procedure. Okay, so already I saved, so I'm clicking on save as with the same name, my trip only, and with the same unit 1 only. I'm not going to change the location and name of the file, but I'm going to set a password. Save with password option, you have to check on it. Okay, click on save button. It's already exists. Do you want to replace it? Yes. Okay, so it's asking for set password. Enter password to open. So I'm entering some password to open the file. Then confirm the password. Okay, I just reconfirm the password and then click on OK button. So now the file is saved with the password. Okay, so let me close this file. Okay, so let me again open my trip. What does it says? Enter password. Enter password to open the file. So if you set a password for your file, no one can open your file without your password. So which is called, it is a way of safeguarding your file. So I enter the password and I just open the file. Okay, so this is a way we just save it with a password. Okay, so we are talking about the soft copy. Okay, so you can save it with a save password. And what is next? Parts of the writer window we studied. So starting from title bar, menu bar, okay, then toolbar, standard toolbar, formatting toolbar, status bar, you can see the scroll bar, scroll buttons, zoom button. Okay, everything we have seen. Then text cursor movement, how to move the text cursor. So in the text cursor only we have a home key and end key. Okay, so on a position the cursor on a line of text document. If you press the home key, which goes to the beginning of the line, just keep it in mind, home key goes to the beginning of the line, and then end key goes to the end of the line. Okay, end of the line. And if you use a control plus home, which jumps to the beginning of a document, and control plus end, which jumps to the end of the document, Is it clear? Okay, then mouse pointer, we studied mouse pointer like an arrow mark and then this eye shape. and then when you click on it, it will become a text cursor. Is it clear for everyone? That's good. So this is what we have seen now. Okay, now let's see how to do some activities like a undo, redo, moving and copying the text, copy paste, selecting text, selection criteria, and all these things we will revise now. Okay, so let me go to the LibreOffice now. All right, so first, this is a document we have written, right? So let me type something here. So okay, see, where is my cursor now? My cursor, it's here in end of the document. Okay, so when I click on, if I want to undo the activity, so wherever what was the activity I have done before, if I want to go to the previous place, for undo, control plus z, control plus z key for undoing an activity, you remember, right? So let me do something, field visit to job fair. Okay, 2018 I'm writing. Previously 2018 was not there. Okay, so I have made one changes here. Then let me make one more change, this software management. So the software is, I'm typing it in capital letter. Okay, then this, do you see V? Okay, E is in capital letter, V, W, E smaller letter I have written. So the changes I have made. So I want to undo the activity, so control Z. Control Z. Do you see? As many times as you press, as many activities you can get it back. See, this V, W, E both has become capital letters. So let me type one more time, Control Z. See, this software, I deleted the software S first. So it is deleted. Again, Control S, which has become lowercase letter, which has become lowercase letter. Okay, so using control and Z key you can do this activity, that is undo an activity. So the same thing you can achieve it with the help of menus. Which menu? With the help of edit menu. If you go to edit menu, you can see undo typing, control Z. See, 2018, one more time, undo. 2018, it's gone. We had a full stop over there, right? So let me click here. Let me do here. Do you see full stop has come? Then redo. What is mean by redo? Again doing it. So what is a shortcut key? Control plus Y. Control Y. Okay. So control Y. Do you see? See, all changes are getting back. Okay. All changes are getting back. So control Z for undo, and then for redo, control plus Y. These are the shortcut keys. Otherwise, you can go to the edit menu and then do undo and redo options. Clear? Okay. Then copy paste. I want to do a copy paste. I want to copy the entire document, or I want to just copy field visit to an IT job fair 2018. How to copy the document or particular line? Click on the place where you want to copy, then click and drag it using your mouse until the place you need. Okay, then Control C to copy, and click on the place wherever you want to copy, and then Control V, copy paste. Got it? Okay, now I want to move the text to another place. Okay, so I want to put the report to the down. I want to remove the report over here. I want to put it down. So it is called moving. First select it, then Control X to cut, then keep the cursor on the place where you want to put it, Control plus V to paste it. Okay. So first I did copy paste. When I did a copy paste, you can see two times you can see the same text which appears twice. When I move a text from one place to another place, you can see in the new location only. The report is in the new location, not at the beginning of the document, because I moved from one place to another place. Clear? This is copy paste and then cut paste. That is copying and moving the text. Okay, so text in the sense whatever you have written, it's called a text. You can remove only one word or a entire document and everything. Clear? Okay, let's see what is next. So we have done copy paste and then moving text, undo and redo, then selecting text. So how to select a text? Okay, so if you want to select a particular word, how do you select? If I want to select only the word field, click the cursor at the beginning of the word or end of the word, click and drag it, and then leave your mouse pointer, leave the finger from the mouse pointer. Okay, then you can see the particular selected text is highlighted. So only one particular word I selected. If I want to select the entire paragraph, keep the cursor at the beginning or end of the document, click and drag it, click and drag it until you need, and then leave the cursor, leave the finger from the mouse pointer. So the entire paragraph is selected and you can see which is highlighted. And if you want to select the entire document, what do you have to do? No need to click and drag and select. You can do it also, click and drag and select the entire document. This is one of the way. Another shortcut key is Control plus A. Control plus A. A means all, entire document will be selected. So these are the shortcut keys. Okay, these are the ways you can select only the particular word of a document or one particular line or a paragraph or the entire document. Clear? That's good. Okay, what is next? Let's see what is next. So they have given the revising exercise, okay, how to do it, and then selecting non-consecutive text items. Non-consecutive, okay. So what is mean by non-consecutive? Do you see the screen? Computer, entered, they have selected. You can see some words are highlighted. That means they are selected. They are not next to each other. They are in different parts of the window, that is different parts of the document. So how to select non-consecutive words? So that is what we are going to see. So say for example, I want to select a field. Okay, see I have selected field. I want to select Nagpur field and then IT job fair. See, when I selecting IT job fair, the one which I selected first field, it's gone. So how to get it back? So if you want to select multiple words or multiple objects which are non-continuous, then you have to hold down the control key. Have to hold down control key. See, I have hold down the control key. Then field visit I have selected. Then IT job fair I have selected. At Nagpur selected. Okay. Then about I have selected. Okay, various I have selected. So various, let me select it correctly. Various I have selected. Information technology and information technology enabled services I have selected. Still I'm holding the control key. Okay, okay. Rapid evolution I have selected. Then in the next line, Indian business standards I have selected. Okay, online services I have selected. 2018 I have selected. Now I left both my fingers from the keyboard. Now do you see? Multiple words are selected which are not continuous, not consecutive next to each other. So if you want to select multiple words or a text which are not next to each other, I mean which are not consecutive, then hold down the control key and keep select the text what you need. All will be selected. Whatever you need will be selected. Do you see? Likewise, it will be selected. Clear? So this is what non-continuous selection. Okay, then so next one, you can also select a vertical block of text. See, only this vertical block also you can select. When I prepare a table, I'll show you how to do it. Okay, because now I don't have a table, only I have a field visit, right? So I'll teach you how to do a vertical block selection while teaching the tables. Okay, then find and replace. Okay, so if you want to replace a particular word with another word, okay, so here Nagpur it's there. I want to change the place Nagpur as Chennai. Okay, so how to do it? First, select the word which you want to replace. Okay, then go to edit tab and then find option. Do you see find and replace? Control plus H. Okay, so find I already selected. Okay, if you want you can just again type it. Already I selected. Okay, if you have not selected then you can type the word over here. And what do you want to replace? I want to replace Nagpur as Chennai. Okay, so in how many places? I have Nagpur in only one place, so I'm not going for find all, find previous, next and all. Just to replace I'm going to click on it. Then click on close button. Do you see held at Chennai? So this is the way the find and replace option works. You can choose a particular word or you can change any particular text and you can change it into another word. So with the help of find and replace option and the shortcut key is Control plus H. See now let me click on Control plus H. Do you see the find and replace dialog box appears? Here what is the word you want to replace? I want to replace Chennai as Trivandrum. As Trivandrum. Onto Chennai as Trivandrum. So just click on replace button, then click on close button. What happened? Let me do it again. Control Trivandrum, Chennai. You want to Trivandrum. Okay, so selected and then replace, then close. Do you see Chennai? It's changed as Trivandrum. So this is the way we use find and replace option. Okay, so let's see next. What is next? They have given the step-by-step procedure for how to do it. Okay, then jumping to a page number. So jumping to a page number, again you can go to edit menu, go to page number, particular page number you can give. See here we have only one page, right? So we won't be able to do it, but the procedure you can learn. Edit menu and then go to page. Okay, shortcut key appears. You can just write the page number, click on OK button. That particular page you will be going through. Got it? Then non-printing characters. So non-printing characters. What is mean by non-printing? Printing means whatever the alphabets, whatever the numbers, special characters, you are pressing everything it's you can see on the screen, right? So then what is mean by non-printing? So non-printing like space. Okay, if you click on the space bar, you can see the space over there, but you can't identify that what is pressed over there by looking at the document, right? So something they are called non-printable characters. Okay, space bar, tab key. Okay, that do not appear on the screen, but we can see the changes like a spaces gap. We can see. It is very helpful to see these non-printing characters on the display to see the exact formatting of the document. Okay, so to display the non-printing characters, what we have to do? Press the toggle formatting mark or use the keyboard shortcut Control plus F10. The tab space is as shown, so arrow mark sign and spacebar it's shown as dot. Okay, so you can see here. You can see here in the document. Okay, so do you see here one for a formatting mark, this double line mark? Okay, or you can use a keyboard shortcut F10. Fine, fine. Okay, then checking the spelling and grammar mistake. So do you know how to check the spelling and grammar? Automatic spelling, you know, right? So to check the spelling and grammar, you can see the zigzag lines. If there is any spelling mistake, okay, let me make a mistake here. Okay, et, then only we can what else, fair, F-A-R-I. Okay, you can see the spelling mistakes. Enabled, so enabled, let me take E. Okay, so it's still not showing. So if there is any spelling mistake, you can see the zigzag line. So right click on it and you can see the suggested spellings. Okay, fair, you can choose it, spelling and grammar. Okay, and you can see enabled. Okay, so enable spelling it's wrong. What you can do is right click, you can choose the suggested option. Okay, otherwise you can what you can do is you can go to tools menu and then spelling, so which will check the spelling for the entire paragraph. The incorrect spellings will be with the red color mark and you can see the suggestions and click on correct button. It will be corrected. BPO. It's actually right word, but the in computer dictionary it is BPO word. It's not there, so you can see ignore once. Continue checking at the beginning of the document. Yes, Trivandrum, it says Panchandram. No, right? So Trivandrum, it is not in computer dictionary, English UK dictionary, it is not there. So you can see ignore once. The spell check is complete. Okay, close button. So this is a way we can do a spelling check, spell check. Got it, students? That's good. Okay, let's see what is next. And keyboard shortcut key for spell check, it's F7 key. F7 it's for shortcut key for spell check. Okay, and using synonyms and thesaurus. So what is meant by synonyms? The similar words, right? So you can use similar words or thesaurus. You can find it from the dictionary over here. So you might have known from the MS Word document itself, Microsoft Word itself. Synonym means which gives a similar word. Okay, similar word, and antonyms also we can get it. So how to get it? So if you click on the word, right click on a word and point to synonym on the context menu. On this menu, you have to click on the synonym. As sub-menu or alternative menu will appear. Then you can choose the right phrase from there. Okay. So let me just take the document. Okay. So select this word, right click on it. Okay. Then you can see synonyms. You won't get it for all the words. Only the spellings which are wrong you will get it. Okay. Synonyms. It is quite, actually quite. Okay. So it says similar words. Okay. You can just quiescent, relaxing, restful, reposeful, slumberous, untroubled. You can choose any word which is opt for this particular document. Otherwise, you can go to thesaurus, okay, and thesaurus, and it is a quiet, okay. So current word it's quiet. Quiet I have written. Replacement with quiescent. You can choose any word. You can see more words here. Similar term, related term. You can see, and okay, you can just click on silent, noiseless, still, stilly, okay, tiptoe, inaudible. So you can see so many synonyms are coming here, similar words are coming here. So you can choose any one. The most optimal word it's quiescent. Then click on replace button, which will be quite was replaced with quiescent knowledge. Okay, so likewise you can just change it into thesaurus. Got it? The same thing you can apply it from tools menu, then thesaurus, the box appears. Okay, so you can choose whatever you need. Quite, similar term, quite, replace. So it is again, it is replaced with quite. Got it? So this is a way the thesaurus tool works. Is it clear, students? Okay, that's all for today. I'm winding up the session now. So what we have studied today is how to download LibreOffice. Okay, then how to create a new document, file, new. Okay, how to save the document, how to open existing document, then the writer window. About the writer window we have seen like a title bar, menu bar, toolbars, then status bar, scroll bars, and all things we have seen. Okay, the next one, how to move the text cursor. Okay, using the home key, end key, then control plus home and control plus end. Then we have seen some activities like cut, paste, copy, paste, undo, redo, okay, spelling mistakes, correcting spelling mistakes, synonyms, thesaurus, and all these things. I hope the concepts are very easy for you, because as you know, all these concepts are studying from standard 5 to 8. Well, students, please read the same from your text also, so that you will understand. If you have any doubt, you can just call me or ping me on my WhatsApp number. Well, students, read the same chapter. I'll get back to you tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Thank you.